Well, what a joyful way to welcome you this morning to Community Church Unitarian Universalist. I'm your worship associate, Jim O'Neill, and what a pleasure to be with you today. Community Church, for those new to us, is a progressive, open-minded, and inclusive religious community. We welcome all who are on a spiritual search for truth and meaning. And ours is a faith in action as we do the work of social justice and elevate compassion in our quest to live ethically, recognize the inherent dignity and worth of every being. Please look to your weekly email for further announcements. We're delighted to welcome back to our pulpit today Reverend Jane Mauldin. Reverend Jane is a retired Unitarian Universalist minister, served the North Shore community, was a chaplain for 11 years at Toro Infirmary, and blesses us with her presence at least once a month. She also provides pastoral care for our community. So we're very privileged to have her with us today. We do have some announcements. Deborah, I believe.
Good morning. So good to see everybody out here and see our full choir and everything. Very exciting. But on another note, we have a congregational meeting right after the service. It's in our bylaws to have a December meeting. We have a couple of things like the budget and the electing the nominating committee, and then a couple of other amendments to the bylaws and such that are not, hopefully will go pretty quickly. Most of it's some housekeeping kind of things. But anyway, if you will just stay for a little while after the service, we will have our meeting. Thank you.
Another announcement you see in your bulletin that on the 21st, that is next Sunday, we have the Lights Festival celebration, and we encourage you to come. And then on Christmas Eve, there is also a special service of poetry and Christmas carols that you're certainly encouraged to come to. And if you wish, you can bring some finger sandwiches, anything else that you would want to have as part of the celebration after the service. That's on Christmas Eve. And now I'll call to worship.
The call to worship is in your order of service. It's responsive. It is the winter season of the year. As the days grow darker and cold, perhaps it is a winter season in your life, dark and cold there too. Come in to Christmas here together. May we find the light right in our lives and the world. May we find in the dark corners of our soul the light of hope. May the carols we sing and renew our hope and vision. May the chalice we light this day remind us of the glowing love within our hearts. The music for lighting the chalice is in your order of service.
We also lit 2 candles. It's the second Sunday of Advent. We'd like also to welcome any new and returning visitors today. We hope you'll stay after the service for refreshments and fellowship. In the spirit of fellowship, please turn to your neighbors, especially those you may not know, and say hello. In the time for all ages, we have a surprise for you today. It turns out that Cajun Santa happened to be coming by and was kind enough to visit us today. So let's welcome Cajun Santa.
I guess we'll do the Cajun 12 Days of Christmas first. Yeah. I have a version of the Cajun 12 Days of Christmas that I'd like to share with you. And so we'll get started. Oh. Testing. Okay, testing. Good morning again and Merry Christmas. Joyeux Noel. Jim's going to assist me because I have some posters to illustrate my Cajun 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a crawfish in a fig tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 grumpy frogs and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 fishing boats, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 hoodoo ducks, 4 fishing boats, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 cypress trees, 5 hoodoo ducks, 4 fishing boats, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 hoodoo do, duck. 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 sweet potatoes, 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 pull-do-duck, 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 dancing gators, 8 sweet potatoes, 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 pull-do-duck, 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 pinching crabs, 9 dancer gators, 8 sweet potatoes, 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 pull-do-duck, 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 oyster shells, 10 dancing pinching, 8 sweet potatoes, 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 pull-do-duck, 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 jingle bells, 11 oyster shells, 10 pinching crackers, 9 dancing gators, 8 sweet potatoes, 7 fleur-de-lis, 6 cypress trees, 5 pull-do-duck, 4 fishing boat, 3 hunting dogs, 2 grumpy frogs, and a crawfish in a fig tree. Okay, well, I didn't do too bad at that time. I missed a couple of them, but you know, I'm getting old. My memory isn't what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to share with you this morning the Cajun Night Before Christmas story. Some of you may be familiar with it, but you know, when I start telling this story, I start to talk a little funny, sort of like the people down on the bayou. So I'm going to share that with you. Now listen, my children, and you shall hear what happened down on the bayou last year. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all to the house they don't think pass, not even a mouse. The children been there so good snug on the floor, and Mama passed the paper through the crack in the door, because you know they got some cracks with the wind blowing in. Then out on the bayou, and let's see, now I lost my place. Through the crack in the door. Then out on the bayou, they got such a clatter. Makes sound like old Boudreaux done fall off his ladder. Dad run like a rabbit to got to the door. Trip over the dog and fall on the floor. As he look out the door in the light of the moon, he think, man, you're crazy. I got hold you soon. Because out on the bayou, when he stretches next to him, there's 8 alligators a-pulling the skiff. And a fat little drover with a long pulling stick. Dad knew right way. Got to be old St. Nick. More fast and faster, the gators they came. I whistled and hollered and called them by name. Hi, Gaston, hi, T-boy. Up here and I said, Jeanette, G. Suzette, Celeste and Renee to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Make crawl, alligator, and be sure you don't fall. Like Tonflo's cat see the tree tops he fly when that big old hound dog come and run himself by. Like that, up the porch roof them big gator climb with a skiff full of toy and me behind. On top of that porch roof, it sound like a hail when all them big gators done sat down their tail. I came down the chimney and Dad yelled with a bam. I fall down the chimney and set on the yam. Sacre! I exclaimed. My pet got a hole. I done slapped myself down on them red hot coal. I got to my foots and jumped like a cat. Out to the floor I land with a flat. I was dressed all in muskrat from my head to my foot, and my clothes is all dirty with ashes and soot. A sack full of plaything I trod on my back. I look like a burglar, that's for a fact. My eyes, how they shone. My dimples are merry. Maybe I've been drinking wine for blackberry. My cheek was like rose, my nose like a cherry. On second thought, maybe I'll lap up the sherry. With snow white chin whisker and quivering belly that shook when I laughed like the strawberry jelly. Ho, ho, ho. But a wink of my eye and a shook of my head made Dad come with that. He don't got to be scared. I don't do no talking, going straight to my work, put plaything in sock, and then turn with a jerk. Then I put wood in my hand, there on top of my head, cast my eyes on the chimney, and then I done said, with all of that fire and then burning hot flame, me, I ain't going back the way that I came. So I run out the door and I climb up to the roof. I ain't no fool me for to make one more goof. I jump in my skiff and crack my big whip. The gators move down and don't make one slip. And Dad hears me shout loud as a splash and I go, Merry Christmas to all, till I saw you some more.
So I want to say a special thanks to my friend Casey Santa for coming today. For children of all ages, all of you, he'll be available for photos after the service. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go.
The reading is by the Reverend Kendall Gibbons. Christmas is subversive. One of the great things about Christmas is that it is a sturdy holiday. Christmas doesn't wimp out when times are hard. It comes anyway, even if there are hardly any presents, even when there isn't much food to make a feast with, even if you're sad, even if the world around you is at war, even if you are living in danger, fear, and oppression, Christmas still comes. And when it comes, Christmas is subversive. Christmas, with its story of an unwed mother and a doubtful father, with this legend of a helpless baby born in a stable, who was worshipped by some of the wisest, richest men in the world. With its tale of the child pursued by the deadly wrath of kings, who escaped as a refugee to a foreign land far from home. Christmas, with its ancient, enduring summons of peace on earth, goodwill to all people, everywhere. You can't stop a day like that with a little hardship or greed or injustice. It will show up anyway, shining the light of a midnight star into the loneliest places of our collective lives. Do not underestimate the power of the manger and the hope it holds. The Christmas song of the angels is not as innocent as it sounds. It has turned the world upside down before now. It still can. Thus ends the reading.
Now is our sacred time of joys and sorrows. If you're online, you may write your joys and sorrows in the comments section to be read aloud. In person, you may write them on one of the cards being passed out by our greeters. Please join in the interlude, number 246, O Little Town of Bethlehem. Silently, how silently the wonder is made known when God imparts to human the gift that is known. No ear may hear that coming, but in this worldly din, when souls are truly born, rest within. From Jada, a joy, my high school in the car beat St. Aug at the football championship. A joy from Michelle, what a joy to see Reverend Jane on MS Now, working to defend immigrant families in our city. From Kathy, it's a joy to have Sally back in our choir. So says Linda, it's a joy that Sally is well and returned to choir. From Lizzie, Joyce, so pleased to be here with y'all today and proud of Annabelle getting first place in her science fair. And we got a new puppy. Sadness, all the neighbors and schoolmates dealing with ice and other issues. From Marcel Rivera, we're able to secure shelter for 2 families of migrant workers. From Rochelle, a joy seeing Reverend James in action gave me such inspiration, as did the Jackson Square protest yesterday against ICE occupation and this administration agenda. Power to the people, faith in action. From Liz Trotter, Rosa Diaz, the immigrant mother of 4 from Honduras that this church has supported, has had to quit her restaurant job and is currently sick and shut in, hiding and scared. If anyone is able to donate food or money at this time, it would be most appreciated. See Liz.
Liz, raise your hand over there.
There she is. Okay.
Liz, after the service, you want to help support Rosa.
Yes. From Joel, a joy, Jim's blank verse lament on the border patrol sweep, a sorrow that it was necessary to write it, and a sorrow that Trump seems to be going to war with Venezuela, probably to divert attention away from the damage he is causing. And now we light 2 more candles, one for the joys still bubbling up, too new to share, and one for the sorrows that we cannot yet put into words. Know that we hold all of you in our hearts, and we'll also pause for a moment of silence, recognizing the joys and sorrows of those in our community, spoken and unspoken.
The reading before the sermon. Stephen Colbert recently, you know Stephen Colbert? All right. Stephen Colbert recently reported that he has kept a certain quote on his desk for many years. The quote is from Robert F. Kennedy's 1966 South Africa speech. Colbert says that whenever he feels most hopeless for our country, or for our species for that matter, he will, if he remembers, read these words and take strength from its simple truth. While few can change history, everyone has the opportunity and the obligation to push back on the temptation to despair. You hear that? Everyone has the opportunity and the obligation to push back on the temptation to despair. He continues, because despair is very seductive, like all mortal sins. Thus ends the reading. So, how are you feeling about Christmas this year? I, for one, am not exactly feeling it this year. There's so much heaviness. We've got the destruction of our health care at the federal level, the clear insanity of our elected president, and armed and masked thugs roaming the streets of our city, abducting people off the streets. And more about that later. There's so much heaviness in our lives that singing tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la just seems, well, for me, disloyal to the powerful events all around us and what we feel should be our response to them. Charles Dickens gave us some great role models for different ways of feeling about Christmas. Are you a Tiny Tim? No matter what his physical infirmity, he was all about, God bless us, everyone. Or maybe you're more Scrooge, bah, humbug. Or maybe you're feeling more Bob Cratchit, just trying to get through the day and give a nod to the season when you have a moment to do so. As I've been pondering this week how I might speak with you about an authentic and still hopeful way of letting Christmas into our lives this year, I happened last week upon a news article about what Oxford University Press has determined to be the word of the year. Did you know there is such thing as a word of the year? Well, it seems that there is. The word of the year is rage bait. Oxford University Press says the phrase refers to online content that is deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, or offensive. In their discussion of why online accounts that do that are so popular, the press says that although we love fluffy cats, we'll appreciate that we tend to engage more with negative content and content that really provokes us. You know, that first Christmas, the story tells us, was also full of fear and rage. The nation was ruled by a batshit crazy ruler, Herod, whose whims caused massive suffering. Donald Trump got nothing on Herod. Herod killed babies, hundreds of them. He called anyone who disagreed with him a traitor and had them killed. His massive building projects diverted badly from needed funds and supplies from projects that could have helped many people. It was a really awful time to have the first Christmas, and yet here come heavenly beings, bright angels in the sky, proclaiming, there is great joy coming to the whole people. There have been terrible, horrible, no good, very bad Christmases many times in human history. And somehow, from time to time, people have dug themselves out of their foxholes long enough to toast one another with ale, or even to play a game of soccer, football, with the soldiers on the opposing side of a war, or at least to gather together and sing of hope and joy despite everything. Again and again this season, people bring out of ourselves a forceful response. The word to describe it, I think, is joy. It's a strong, defiant, and stubbornly hopeful word. Joy to the world. Rejoice, rejoice. But how do we claim joy this season and throughout the year? How do we get that joyful spirit when times are tough, when we are grieving or afraid, or just need to be reminded that sometimes life is good? That in the midst of winter, there really does lie within us an invincible spring. My friend, the Reverend Pete Peterson, spoke of joy. He called it the creative human response to our world. It's a steady, abiding joy, he said, not of sudden dramatic ecstasy. It's simply the result of our awareness of our relationship to all that is. Now, I want to share with you, and I trust you can hear, what I've been up to the last 2 weeks, how I've been in relationship with all that is. With the U.S. Border Patrol and ICE targeting first Chicago, then Charlotte, then our fair city, I search for how I might direct my own energy, skills, and stubborn hope that I might make a difference in this mayhem. So I attended a training with a group called Union Migrante. They taught me how to observe and document ICE activity, their vehicles and agents, and how I might help my neighbors stay safe in this crisis. By the way, there are many ways to help, including gathering and distributing food to people sheltering in place, watching schools upon arrival and departure times, and much, much more. By the way, I also have here, if you want to know more, put your email address on this. And as the Union Migrante publicizes their next trainings on Know Your Rights, I'll send them to you. And here are flyers on the next training. They're doing like 4 or 5 a week, but we only have 2 more scheduled this week that I know of. So there are many ways to help. There are many groups organizing. This is one that I feel in alliance with because of their non-violent, peaceful way of helping and documenting. Union Migrante takes a fully legal approach of non-harassment and especially support for families. Anyway, I've spent a few days driving my old beat-up Honda around the metro area, following leads posted on a WhatsApp chat through Union Migrante, and being present to wherever ICE agents might be, attempting to abduct a person from their home or workplace, and documenting the license plates of vehicles used in those attempts. This past Tuesday, some of you have found out, a reporter and cameraman from MS Now, used to be MSNBC, rode with me for 6 hours and produced several short news stories that played on their national news during the day, this past Tuesday. They also produced a short video about me that is posted on MS Now, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you Google Reverend J. Mauldin, those videos will come up. It's also been reposted on Occupy Democrats, Instagram and Facebook, and I don't know where else, but I'm using my white, blue-eyed old lady privilege the best way I can. I've received messages from friends and family around the country. I also made the mistake, against my daughter's advice, of reading some of the hundreds of comments on the Instagram page, and some were not kind, even threatening. So I have a security system coming to install a security system in my home this week. I truly believe that rage baiters on Instagram are most likely very sad people who don't have Christmas spirit, who are directing their own misery outward from their lumpy, sad sofas. But still, which is to say, my Christmas season response to despair about the Border Patrol and ICE activity, my response is action, is love for the people all the people of our city. In Herod's land, I want to be a person who brings food to the new mother who birthed her baby in a strange city. I want to alert her if soldier thugs are outside her home. By so doing, I can assert that hope, that joy can never be extinguished, not even now, not in the city of New Orleans, especially now. After all, this is the season when the great myth of ages speaks of a refugee family, first far away from home when the child is born, then on the run, hiding, escaping from the terrible soldiers who are attempting to destroy their family. I feel connected in solidarity to the many people of many faiths across our city, our metro area, and our nation who are using the Christmas story, the Hanukkah story, the light of this season, or the stories of their traditions to speak to the reality of our time and call us to awareness and action in the name of love. There's a Catholic church in Maryland, you may have heard about it, that annually displays a life-size nativity scene in their front yard. This year, the figures of Mary, Joseph, and the baby are missing. In their place, a large sign says, "Ice was here." Their local archdiocese wanted them to take it down, but the priest refused to do so. In another city, a church has also redesigned their large nativity scene in front of their church. Mary, Joseph, and the infant are each displayed separately in large metal cages, symbolically detained by authorities. The message is clear. If Mary, Joseph, and the infant were in our city, this might well be how the federal authorities would treat them today. The Christmas story, the real story, is truly a story for our time, our moment. Remember the shepherds on the hillside when blazing angels appeared to them and they were horrified, afraid for their lives. What did those angels declare to them? Fear not, rejoice, rejoice. During the terrible, terrible times of that first Christmas, people looking on were commanded to rejoice. These two ideas, fear and joy, are the central elements of this incredible story. Ever since Mary, Joseph, and the shepherds had to struggle with fear and joy 2,000 years ago, or so they say. Can we do that too? In the face of everything, is it possible for us to pour forth a similar powerful response? A friend recently shared with me this quote by author Mark Nepo, simply this: joy is the transformation of our suffering, not the escape of all we have to face. The transformation of our suffering. I think that he's saying that feeling joyful doesn't mean that we are running away from or ignoring all the suffering in the world. Instead, we are digging even deeper to something that speaks to our suffering, that is even greater than our suffering. How do you experience your joy? One way common to all of us, I hope, is experiencing joy with other people. When I cuddle up with my 5-year-old grandson in the evening in his bedroom, as he curls into my lap and I read "Good Night Moon," "Good night moon, good night spoon, good night bears, good night chairs," and his eyes slowly flutter and close. And then I tuck him into bed, smoothing his hair as he settles into sweet sleep. There is joy. There are lovely people all around us, who touches and blesses you. As Pete Peterson says, there are soulmates in this world waiting to be found by each of us, and when we happen to meet, joy abounds. But this way of experiencing joy isn't for everyone. It isn't true for Archie Bunker and his ilk. Some of us remember Archie, who was the patriarch in the old sitcom All in the Family. He often got tired of his wife Edith's goodness and sarcastically taunted her, "That's you, all right, Edith the good. You'd stoop to anything to be good. You never yell, you never swear, you never make nobody mad. You think it's easy living with a saint? Even when you cheat, you don't cheat to win, you cheat to lose. Edith, you ain't human." And Edith says, "That's a terrible thing to say, Archie Bunker. I am just as human as you are." And Archie retorts, "Oh yeah? Then prove you're just as human as me. Do something rotten." Rotten people are certainly out there. Sometimes they have power in our lives. Rotten people, rotten hurricanes, and rotten death. Yet in the face of all of these, joy is our creative human response as we dig down and experience all that life is and still say yes. By golly, yes. No matter how we experience joy, in nature, with a child, or perhaps with a book or piece of music, in quiet meditation, or in the power of a political demonstration for more justice in our community, or defiant joy by finding ways to defend and support our immigrant community right now. Joy is something that belongs to each of us if we will allow it entry into our lives. I truly believe this. Also, and this is the most important part of my message this morning, joy is meant to be shared. It grows when we share it. It lives longer when we share it. As Mark Twain said, grief can take care of itself. But to get the full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Isn't that lovely? The forces of death and despair are mighty this season. We gather to confront those forces, to change what we can, and to support one another. Sometimes the winds are against us, and we need our community around us when we are in sorrow and fear. And we need our community around us in times of joy. And Sexton is right. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young. Sharing with those we love, and I'm going to include the pets we love too. Sharing expands the feeling of joy within us, keeps it bubbling forth in us so that we can call on it time and time again. This is what this church is about, and one reason my church is so important to me. So please, my dear friends, rejoice this season. Even as Herod's legions sharpen their swords, we will rejoice. We are part of something stronger and vaster and brighter than all the forms of death which may threaten us. May our joy, individually and together, be our strength, guiding us like a true North Star through the night and into the day, which will surely come. May it be so. Good Yule, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Amen. As Jim brings the invitation to the offering, I want to note that the hymn that we will be singing was by Edmund Sears, a Unitarian minister, written during the time of Great War in the 1800s. And it was a reflection on the tragedy and a response to that all around him.
Michelle, I think you have an announcement about the offertory.
It's our custom on the second Sunday of every month to take up a collection for a cause, a local cause chosen by our community justice ministry. In keeping with Reverend Jane's theme this morning, every December for the last several years, we have collected money for Rosa and her 4 children. And as Jim and Liz said, Rosa is in dire straits right now. Rosa's from Honduras. She is no longer able to work her restaurant job. Things are very difficult. She's having to stay home. I know I've gone to the grocery store for her so that she doesn't have to leave the house and go out. I just ask that you give generously this morning for Rosa and her family so we can give them as good a Christmas as possible. There are still some ornaments on the tree in the fellowship hall for gifts for her family, but any cash that's given during the collection this morning will go to Rosa. And if you want to write a check, you can just put Rosa in the memo section, and that will also go to her. Thank you.
You can also give online by text or in person this morning. See the information on the back of your order of service for giving by text. And would you please join in that offertory hymn 244, It Came Upon the Midnight Clear, number 244 in your hymnal.
There's one more way you can be of help in this community, and that is if there's an individual who cleans your house, who mows your lawn, who rakes your leaves, who's done handiwork in your home or community for you for a while, and they are not coming to work because they're afraid to leave their homes. Pay them through the end of December and give them a Christmas bonus. However you use Zelle or Venmo, or I don't know that they can get to the bank to do a check, but you know what to do. If there are people you know who help make your life better, now's the time to stretch if you can. The Benediction by Howard Thurman, who saw good times and bad in his life. Howard Thurman wrote, "When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flocks, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among the people, to make music in the heart. Go in peace, go making peace, go making justice this season and in all the days to come. Amen. Shalom. Salam. Merry Christmas."
Please join in our closing hymn, number 240. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, number 240 in your hymnal.
I heard the bells on
As we close this service and extinguish our chalice, join in reading that with me. We will carry that light of love and joy in our hearts. We extinguish the chalice here that it may glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together again.